Don't forget, the next video after this part has already been made and is live now on my Patreon for you to see straight after you've watched this. Fully voice acted, soundtracked, and with my signature editing up for early access to the incredible 4,700 plus patrons who support my work from just $3 with more and more access at higher tiers. This has long been requested to have the full next video early available to you guys who just can't wait for what happens next on Ultra Vegito. And now it's finally here. Links are in the pinned comment and description. Head there after the video. So our story continues with a view of Broly in his new legendary angel form, looking on seriously at Vegito, who stares back with a slight look of disbelief, but equally serious, as the fusion of Broly and Mirrors would then let out divinely. So, Kakarot, what is your decision? I am nothing like what you have faced before. I never was. And after my training and union with Mirrors, I never will be. Is fighting to the death truly your only way of dealing with your issues? Or can there perhaps be another way? Can you learn to forgive, Kakarot, as I once knew you to do? Time is never ending, and I can spend all of it finding another way to fix things. I can bring back the Earth. I am sure of it. But Vegito, no longer wanting to hear any more of Broly's conjecture, would just respond, I appreciate your naive optimism for life, but you have yet to go through the reality of what life is like under the rule of these gods, especially now that you have become one yourself. There is no forgiveness left in my heart. Not for them, and now not for you. This is the only way. And unfortunately, time is not a luxury I have. Before Vegito, now frustrated, would close his eyes and grit his teeth, explaining, Broly, I have sealed my fate as a god killer. Whether you want to believe it or not, I learned that the hard way for the last 10 years. According to you gods, I am now a demon on the verge of fully transforming. And as a result, my head has a bounty on it. Whether I spare you or not, after you, warriors far stronger will come for my head. The 4th and 5th of the 5 strongest, as they are so called. And I'm afraid, at this point, the only way I can stand a chance is with your energy, Broly! As within a split second, the God Killer would transform instantly into his final Ultra form, his hair growing wildly quickly with a mix of purple and silver hair, as his eyes turned pitch black to resemble the margin within him. But Broly, noticeably not too surprised or taken aback, though would just comment, the 4th and 5th of the strongest. I believe Whis did mention something about their existence, of the 5 otherworldly gods, protectors of the multiverse, and gatekeepers to the demon realm. I have not met them, but I assume you believe even in my current state, I would be no help to you in defending against them. You may be dearly underestimating me then. And at first, Vegito has a thought-provoked look, thinking to himself, Gatekeeper to the demon realm? No wonder they come after me like hungry flies. But Broly must be truly clueless if he thinks he would be any challenge to them. before finally with a dastardly smirk, he would continue. Whether I'm underestimating you, or if you could help fight against those two, matters not, Broly. Because in the end, you will prove a great help. But only by becoming a part of me. Just like my fate is sealed, unfortunately, so too is yours and Miras's now. Then, you leave me no choice. As suddenly, Broly's noticeably slimmer body would then outstretch its hands, and his body would begin to change and power up once more as white lightning surrounds him. And as we zoom in on his face, in classic Broly style, his pupils would soon disappear as in a deep voice he would let out, "Then so be it. I will show you the same lack of mercy you showed me all those years ago, Son Goku and Vegeta." Perfect! And thrilled with Broly's resolve, Vegito's Saiyan lust for battle would take over as he instantly launches forward at Broly. This is deja vu, Broly! I know you have experience with Gogeta, but you have no idea about our stronger fusion, do you? Rushing in, as in the distance, Broly would remain stoically calm and collected. But as Ultra Vegito would go for his first punch, unsurprisingly, the legendary Broly, with the most perfect of instincts gained from Miras, would move just out of the way. But things would not end there. As suddenly, out of nowhere, Vegito would experience an instant counter to the ribs, despite Broly doing nothing but moving away. At least, that's how it appeared. What the hell was that? Leaving the God Killer momentarily stunned, as even his well-trained eyes and reactions could not detect at all what was going on. Broly, what did you just do? Leading to Vegito turning around and even inquiring from the legendary Saiyan himself, albeit under his breath. I attacked you. What else do you expect? Seems even with these demonic enhancements, you are far from being a threat to me, let alone the priest. You are still far too slow to even keep up. What did you say? Immediately triggering the God Killer, as from behind, he begins shouting back abrasively. I'll show you speed, you coward! Quickly taking it up a notch once more, moving with even more speed and intensity straight for Broly. But as Vegito reaches close, yet again, Broly would look on unflinching. I remember Gogeta being far more talented than this. As on this damaging insult, suddenly, the air pressure and atmosphere around Broly would momentarily change. As yet again from seemingly just thin air, the God Killer is attacked, slammed in the face far harder than before, as blood instantly spurts out of the confused Vegito's mouth. Moving Vegito backwards, as unbelievably, Broly just seems to not only still be far away, but also appearing to be totally unmoving. What the hell is this crap? Surely he can't really be moving that fast! Now completely enraging Vegito, as the confusion of what Broly is even doing develops into pure frustration. Regaining his composure though in the distance, Vegito would wonder, just what kind of training did Broly go through? I get that his power keeps increasing as he battles, but was the limit truly infinite? Miras, what have you done to him? I'm tired of these games! Quickly now ferociously jumping towards Broly, faster than ever before, like a pouncing tiger, with both of his arms up, screaming to the skies. Slamming both of his fists down hard, but this time straight onto the arms of Broly, who lifts both arms instantly. But as we see Broly's face, despite the increase in effort, he is far from trying his best, as his face remains completely unbothered. Broly! Which of course would be in stark contrast to the God Killer, who would positively be exploding with aggravation as he tries harder and harder to push down on the immovable angel. Grumbling, Why aren't you moving? His strength, is this real? At least my speed's caught up to him now. No more unexpected. But unfortunately, those final hopes of Vegito are dashed there and then, as unbelievably, even with his arms locked up above, something unseeable to the naked eye strikes Vegito back via his stomach, and hard. What was that now? Sending the God Killer flying back in shock once more. Damn it! Until brought to a halt, with blood now visibly dripping from his mouth, as the perplexed Vegito would then comment, "That one felt like a foot this time! The speed is on another level! I can't keep up even like this! I need to try something else before I resort to that again!" But Broly, standing now like a statue, would just go back, almost as if talking from Mirus' side. "Try all you wish, Kakarot. But demon power or not, there will never be a substitute for the hard work we put in over the years. You lack speed, power, but most importantly, talent. Broly, on the other hand, he's truly just on an entirely different level." Shut up! But Vegito, enraged by the thought of being looked down upon by another Saiyan, would instantly arrive behind Broly in his blind spot, his arm already raised before. But as he attempts to slam a back fist right onto the soft behind of Broly's skull, it is quickly and easily met with a block by Broly's forearm alone, without even turning around. Could the legendary Saiyan even now have eyes on the back of his head? What the? Leaving even Vegito struggling in disbelief at just how easily Broly seems to both read his movements and defend, as Broly would just let out, "As I said, you are lacking in all fields, including defense." As yet again, straight in his gut once more, the God Killer would be stricken hard from a seemingly unseen and impossible attack too. This is ridiculous! Pushing Vegito back, but yet again, not too far away. This is starting to add up. But regardless, with so many blows in the exact same area, soon Vegito would grip onto his stomach, grimacing, as the compounded effects of Broly's attacks begin to take effect, leading to Vegito mumbling, "This isn't working. I'm just damaging myself at this rate, but I refuse to believe Broly and Mirus caught up to my power this fast. Just how much damn talent could that blockhead possibly have?" But as Vegito would begin to question just what kind of progress Broly could have made training with Mirus, Suddenly, the legendary angel fusion would vanish from the God Killer's sight. Until unexpectedly, stopping Vegito in his tracks like a mere child, Broly would appear undetected straight in front of Vegito, with his fingers lightly pressed on his temple, gently saying, "Enough with your Saiyan pride. The gulf between our abilities is incomprehensible, just as they were 10 years ago. Two talentless brutes, even when fused, could not dream to challenge a genius that comes once every millennia. Transform now, or die in mediocrity. It is embarrassing to even believe you would pose a threat to Zeno when you failed to even touch me." Leaving Vegito stunned, hearing these words coming from such a familiar face, as he mutters out, "Zeno, talentless brutes, Broly!" As Broly would just stare back and say, "You are proving nothing to me but weakness while in this form. If you so desire to bring your loved ones back, and you are under such time constraints as you have said, then cease feeding your ego and show me everything you have, as I will spare your life no more if you persist, Kakarot." But quickly, on response, with a previously unseen speed and force, Vegito would then knock away Broly's hand quickly and easily from his face, shouting, "Fine! I didn't want to have to use this much power on an old friend, but it's clear as day by now. Just like I have, you two have changed over the years." Before Vegito would then jump back to gain some distance, as Broly would remain silent, contemplating Vegito's sudden pushback. And with his eyes closed, now with a giant smile on his face as he laughs, he begins saying, "Oh, Broly, I remember when you were a quiet fellow. Could barely even speak a word. But look at you now, talking non-stop. And whether fused with mirrors or not, with your very first words, it's clear just how much you look down on me, just as all the rest of the gods once did. I say you're an old friend, but that's a stretch. I didn't even know you existed for decades of my life. And I have a feeling I will live just fine with removing your existence from it again, Broly." As suddenly, seemingly following Broly's requests, Vegito's entire body would then become engulfed in air that rises up all over his body as his teeth grit together. His bulging arms growing bigger, with veins and vascularity, as his entire torso starts to shake and convulge. As suddenly on top of this, on his skull, two sharp as spears demon horns would burst forth at lightning speed together, as if having been trying to escape and erupt for centuries. All the while Vegito's body continues to rumble and grow darker in complexion, raising his power levels at an alarming rate. Huh? Vegito? But meanwhile, inside the body of Vegito, our hero Son Goku even begins to sense and realize the sudden change in power of the fused Saiyan, as he comments, "Wait a second, he isn't really going to go all out on Broly, is he?" Before turning behind to Vegeta and continuing, "Vegeta, we need to get a hold of him now. This isn't right. If he goes back to full power, he'll end up killing him. We need to do something.
Kakarot!
But almost annoyed with Goku's concerns, Vegeta would just reply with a side eye and his arms folded.
It cannot be helped. Are you watching the same battle I am? Look at the power of Broly now. I wondered just how much stronger he would be if he kept training after you let him live on Bumper. But with Mirrors added to the mix, he's now truly at the level of the 5 strongest. The facts are, we need his powers now. We're going to stand any chance against Zeno. And better yet, with his ability to improve so fast, he's practically essential.
What? Are you serious? Instantly raising Goku's eyebrows as he reacts in shock to Vegeta's response and yells back in disbelief. There's no way you're agreeing with Vegito on this. Yes, he's a god, but Broly is our friend. You'd watch one of our friends die just to get a little stronger? We could train with him.
Stop being so soft, Kakarot!
But finally breaking his tether with the kind-hearted Saiyan, Vegeta would begin scolding him, saying,
Don't delude yourself, Kakarot! We met him once, and we tried to kill him when we did. We didn't hear him out then, and we didn't care. All we wanted to do was win. We both know the only reason he's still alive to this day is because of that green woman who used the Dragon Balls to save his hide. He's not alive because of us, and he won't be staying that way due to us either. He wasn't even around once you dropped him off back home. So quit with your weak ideologies and remember why we're doing all of this. No!
But despite the sound logic, Goku would immediately become frustrated, looking at Vegeta with a look of disappointment while simultaneously lifting 2 fingers to his forehead in iconic style, and yelling, The past is the past! This is our friend now! And if you're not going to help, then I'll just do it myself again! Huh? But suddenly, just as Goku's body begins to vanish via instant transmission, the gloved hand of the Saiyan Prince instantly arrives to grab his arm. Could it be Vegeta too wants to escape and help? No. As when Goku would look to his left, Vegeta would appear, far from a joking mood as he grips tightly, now in his Ultra Ego form activated, as he continues forcefully.
You will be doing nothing, Kakarot. Not while I'm around, at least. And if you have a problem with that, you know how to settle it. Don't ever forget, I'm as much a Vegito as you are.
And Goku, now looking on bemused, realizing the situation, would then mellow down his voice and reply seriously. Vegeta. Fine. So that's how this is going to go. You know, after what happened with Babidi, I really did think you'd changed. But you just never do you? As instantly, matching Vegeta and staring him head on with a resolute expression, as he too would instantly transform himself into his Ultra Instinct form. Hakaishin techniques versus Angel techniques. The battle between the two now strongest individual Saiyans of Earth and the universe next to Broly is about to begin to gain control of the God Killer. The question is, who will win? And will it be in time before Vegito makes his own decision? But back on the battlefield, somewhere else, we rejoin the 4th of the 5 strongest Makoto and Jiren the Great, both deadlocked after having just landed fists on each other at exactly the same time. But it's not deadlocked for long before suddenly Makoto would instantly vanish from in front, leaving Jiren to begin leaning forward without control until... Surprise! In a move straight out of last chapter, the fourth would appear again right behind Vegito, with his legs and arms wrapped tightly across him, with Jiren even commenting, "This again? You never learn." To which Makoto would just say with a smirk, "Not quite." Before suddenly the duo would vanish, most likely due to the actions of Makoto. And from space, we would see a strange new planet, strikingly uninhabitable looking, as vapors of smoke are seen rising from all areas.
Where are we?
With eventually the two arriving on the surface of the strange planet, above what seems like a purple acidic lake of death. Eventually leaving Jiren abandoned, as just as quick as Makoto grabbed onto Jiren and teleported to the strange new planet, he would also vanish straight away from Jiren's sight before he even knew it.
What are you planning, warrior?
But as Jiren would question what the point of all this was, his skin would begin to slowly darken, as from behind, something giant would begin to cast a shadow on him.
What is this?
As shockingly, once the God Killer would turn around, meeting just inches away, now would be a tsunami wave of the deadly liquid from the ground, ready to strip the very flesh off his bones in horrific manner.
Damn you! This is not what I call a fight!
Angering the former destroyer as he faces the destructive wave head on. And just as its unfathomable weight and force crashes on Jiren, he would instantly cover himself in a ball of red energy, not too dissimilar to Android 17's technique, being lost in the wave as it covers his entire being, trying its best to break through the barrier. But alas, in the end, Jiren would be left standing and untouched, still covered in his energy wall, as the last remnants of the purple goo would drip down via gravity. Inside, the God Killer would be covered in black lightning and still with a frustrated scowl.
Now where are you? Battle me like the so-called member of the Five, as you say. Your grave will be within this gunk.
Angrily calling out to the fourth to battle, as slowly his energy barrier would begin to now dissipate back down now that the danger had been averted.
What?
But out of nowhere, the attack would appear as only a distraction, as suddenly a cross chop would appear directly on the chest of Jiren. And as Jiren would scream in agony in the distance, from far behind, Makoto would be seen wielding a blade once more, but this time a blood-red energy blade. Flying safely in the sky, the Blood Angel would cackle smugly, as with a smirk he would then say, "What was that, young Jiren? You want me to come to you and battle you? You're a bit of a mess right now, but sure, I can do that gladly." But not even able to hear this, Jiren would still be dealing with the pain of the deep cuts and gashes now bleeding out of his torso, as he would think internally,
How did he get me again? Is this level of power still not enough? No wonder Son Goku fell.
Don't worry, you will be joining Vegito soon! as just as Jiren would attempt to recover, Makoto would appear close range, granting Jiren's earlier wish only to grab him hard by the face and appear to begin vanishing once again, disappearing completely before giving us a view of yet another planet, clearly far different to the last before.
Die, you damn demon!
Astonishingly, then suddenly smashing Jiren down onto the ground by his skull, without remorse, creating a huge explosion, as the legendary god would grin widely and yell, "Do not ever doubt the power of the Five! You are nothing but a bug to me!" And as the cloud of rubble and smoke rises across Makoto's face, obscuring his vision, he would begin commenting victoriously, "Ah, young Jiren, you truly are a marvel. Not only can you survive my bloody slash technique, but your power and speed even forced me to show my true abilities. You would have made a great candidate to replace the rest of the Five, had you not fallen so low. You chose the wrong route to power, young demon." But once the smoke would completely dissipate, Jiren would be seen still conscious, black lightning still sparking, and just one angered eye visible through the glove of Makoto. As once we zoom in on his unblinking eye, complete with a pumping vein above, the God Killer would let out, "A member of the Five? I never wanted to be part of the Pride Troopers or Destroyers. You really think I would be part of a group of weaklings like you too? If this is the limit of the fourth of the Five strongest, then warrior, I believe I took exactly the right route to power." As Makoto would look down with a slight sense of confusion at Jiren's comments, a strange light would then also begin to shine over him. What? And suddenly, Makoto would be forced to let go and jump back, as Jiren would inexplicably begin powering up uncontrollably, appearing only as a giant unapproachable sphere of energy on the ground. What in the name of Zeno is this? Leaving Makoto shocked, as from the ball, a giant column of pure energy would explode upwards right in the face of the perplexed fourth, nearly taking his head off along with it. And as the explosion of energy would end, looking on from some distance now, Makoto would remain silent and cautiously waiting to see what had even happened. In his view, just a thick, dark billow of smoke that moved slowly to the right. But as he peers closer, he would comment, "Credit where it's due. The little demon had some energy to escape, but where did he get it from? He should be near enough depleted after that, probably bleeding out from that last bloody slash too." And as Makoto would watch on, the appearance of something dark would begin to appear within the mist. Huh? No! No! It cannot be! As a wave of shock would soon begin to wash over the wide-eyed fourth, as something becomes clearer and clearer than the smoke. As once we see, the unmistakable silhouette of Demon Jiren appears, still standing and still with one eye visible, though now a slightly different color. Could Jiren truly still have enough energy to carry on this fight? Or did something even greater happen? as finally, Jiren would appear once more, now having seemingly transformed yet again. His horns more flared than usual, his black lightning stretching to its limits, as his eyes are now revealed to be a familiar shade of purple, just like Vegito's. And with his enormously grown black body markings spreading across his body, Ultra Demon Jiren has finally been born. Finally seemingly having reached the same level of transformation as the other God Killer, as Jiren would then let out coldly,
I guess the only way to beat you and Son Goku's killings will be to accept this darkness fully. Then so be it.
No! But as Makoto would look on completely full of fear and trepidation, trembling as he speaks, he would think, it is just as I feared. They are evolving far too fast. Why isn't the priest of first handling this straight away? This energy, it is Lucius! These two god killers, they are harnessing the great demon's power perfectly. At this rate, Jiren will reach true Demon Emperor status. And a Demon Emperor on the outside, that will only spell one thing. As behind Makoto, a premonition, or perhaps foreshadowing of a Jiren completely transformed into a full demon is seen. A truly horrific sight to all that perhaps must be avoided at all costs. As Jiren undergoes his final transformation, our hero Vegito undergoes his own, screaming with intensity for all the multiverse to hear. And as masses of cloud and debris arise all around him during the power-up, Broly would remain standstill, wondering just what change Vegito would undergo next, with this having been the first time he would watch him reach full power. And as he stands with a muted look of curiosity, he would think, his energy is rising rapidly, but so too is the nature of it changing. Just how far have Son Goku and Vegeta gone? But as Broly would watch, Vegito's transformation would continue, his voice deepening as his hands instantly burst forth from his gloves with claws, his face suddenly admonishing a long purple scar as fur begins to grow all over, while from behind, a large demon tail reminiscent of Frieza sprouts out once more. As when we look from behind, Vegito's hair would have returned back to black, as if back in base, and his horns more intimidating than ever. As Vegito, now with his signature purple eyes and his purple scar stretching right across his face, would let out an exhausted groan, complete with thick smoke that bellows out as if he were a dragon. As finally, Vegito would reach his true final demon form, a completely different look than before, with a whole new level of power, as the giggling demonic Saiyan would then say, "Alright, time to end things, Angel Broly. Allow me to introduce you to Demon Vegito." But as Broly finally witnesses Vegito's final form, a full wave of shock finally strikes the previously unbotherable god, as from within Broly, Miras's side is confirmed to talk, with a shocked look of his own commenting, Vegito, what has become of you? Son Goku, This energy is not theirs. This is Lucifer's. As with a serious look, Broly would then call out to the God Killer. Kakarot! You have no idea what you are doing. That power you are utilizing, it is not of this realm. It is from the demons themselves. And the more you use it, the more you will lose all trace of who you are. The more you will bring out the return of Lucifer, the great demon. But Vegito, curious now, but still cockily smiling, would just brashly reply back,
Lucifer? You know that name too? Why do I keep hearing about him over and over? Just who the hell is he? And why exactly do all of you damn gods mention him? I used to think he was another deity in my way. But it's starting to sound like he may be on my side. Bring him out already!
He is on nobody's side! But quickly, almost angered to the highest level with Vegito's comments, Broly would respond instantly, before continuing, Your lack of awareness of anything is appalling, Vegito. But to be expected from a fusion containing the carefree Kakarot. Bringing Lucifer out is not something we gods can do, let alone ever would. But it is something you unknowingly are. What you must learn, Vegito, is that all angels' powers come from the Grand Priest, known as Dai. But on the other side, all demon powers, small and great, come from one entity too. The brother of the Grand Priest, the great demon, Lucifer. And the more you bring out his powers, and the more changes you undergo in the realm of the mortals, the higher the chance of his inevitable return. The end of the multiverse as we know it. That is the reason you are hunted, Vegito. And judging by how far you have truly gone down the path of demonhood, then now I totally and completely understand why. You are right. There is no other recourse for action anymore. For the good of the multiverse, for the good of Chilai and Limo, I will put an end to this. I will not allow you to bring back the great demon! But in the final scene, unknowing to both Makoto and Broly, two true demons would already exist in the form of the two God Killers, as each would stare at their opponents head on and ominously say together,
In that case, I look forward to finally meeting him.
But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag
Lucifer
in the comments down below and let me know how you think things will go down now that two true demons have entered the field. Or you can just find out what happens right now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice acted, soundtracked, and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,700 plus other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mongers too. It's the deal of the century.